Dude,
And you might end up in a room full of shit for the rest of your life.
Of your own shit for 15 years.
It doesn't make sense though. Shit just disappears, right? Eventually, or if I don't know.
Well, if no one cleans it up, I mean,
If you kill the person, it will disappear, just like in Dark Souls. It'll fizzle out.
Hey everybody, this is the TMG Podcast. This is episode 64. Am I right? Yes?
it's the first one of 2015! Woo!
Yeah,
Y'all see the
one
music
ever.
and everything.
Happy New Year, everybody. This is the TMG Podcast of video games. A podcast about everything video games. And yes, this is the first episode ever. And this is Carlos with me as well.
Hello.
And Miggy is with us as well. Miggy.
what's up, y'all?
Happy New Year, guys.
Happy New Year. We're out of
Lagging
2014
again.
behind us. Are you lagging? Okay. No, but yeah, 2014 is
Nothing's
behind
new.
us now. Yep, we're in a new year. Same shit, PLDT, network, whatever.
Some things
But-
don't change.
Some things don't change as well. Yes, that is so true. But how was your break? We're in a, that was a good,
My
like,
break-
what, 2
my
week?
break-
Was
my
it a 2
break
week
was-
break?
My break was fantastic. Actually, it's a it was like a 2-week break, and then thanks to the Pope coming by, we'll have another long weekend coming up.
Yeah, I know you want to.
They're
Yeah,
mass-producing statues of the Pope, and he's not even here yet.
The ABS-CBN has a banner, like an ad for the Pope. I mean, the news, the media has ads
There
for
are
the
already offensive T-shirts. Misfits.
But don't worry, there's no work on the 15th and the 19th, but we're going to have an episode for that, just in case you don't want to listen to the Pope, no matter, whatever he's going to say.
Yeah.
But enough with the Pope.
I
We're gonna
have a fantastic holiday. I just lost track of the days. I was waking up late. I was eating as much as I wanted. I was loving it, and of course playing video games. So
Yes,
it sounds
I'm
like a
at the,
complete slob, but I don't care. I loved every moment of it.
I think I was in the same boat as you. The only difference is I got sick on the 24th, and then I felt like crap all throughout the 27th, I think. But just like you, I was in the house, with family, eating like a slob, playing video games when I can stand up. But yeah, I was just literally not productive at all up to this point, literally. Like, I'm not kidding.
This podcast is the most productive we've been in weeks.
I think so, because like my work starts next on Monday, and we're recording this on a Saturday, and my work technically will start on a Monday, and you're obviously hearing on a Tuesday, so this week, if you're listening, this is this is going to be my first work week, so it's going to be a weird transition, because I don't know, that was like a week plus of just doing nothing. Well, that's for me. Like, I just literally just conked out and just nothing. Same with you, Migs? Is that the same with you? You went out of the country. You went out, not out of the country. You went somewhere.
Oh yeah, my sisters from the States came back, so we spent our Christmas in Boracay because my parents had a timeshare with Astoria, the hotel.
Oh, okay.
Blah blah blah. So like it's the first time.
Mm.
It's the first time they got to use the timeshare, so we were there for I think 2.5 days.
Not bad. How is Boracay in like technically the holidays? I mean,
It's so commercial now, but it's not as much people as I'd say during the summer.
Yeah,
Yes.
the busy time for Boracay is Labor Day weekend and the Holy Week.
AKA
Yeah.
do not go there.
I would not recommend going there.
I would
those
not.
times.
That's too many people to to go against. It's too much. But yeah, this is now 2015. Even between the break, I think even like ended yesterday, but the Steam sale happened, and that was kind of hard to ignore, to be honest.
It's never easy
as usual.
to ignore the Steam sale, yeah.
Yeah, as usual, it was really hard to ignore. But I did only get, I think I only got 2 games. No, 3. Sorry, I got 3 games. I only got 3 games, and that's actually very little compared to like my other sales. Like, because I was able to get Divinity, Original Sin, for 33% off. I also got Amnesia, finally, the first one. Finally, I got it. And I got, actually, no, I think I only got 2. Yeah, because Dungeon of the Endless does not count. It's not part of the winter sale. No, I only got 2. Wow. Oh, actually, I got another game from you. Thank you,
yes,
by the way.
Yes, you did.
Will gave us presents.
Yeah, for Christmas. Yeah, Will gift me Murdered Soul Suspect. That's what I was thinking about 3. I didn't count Murdered. I didn't get it, but yeah, I actually got 3 games for the holidays. Thank you. And yeah, Murdered Soul Suspect. I'll talk about that in a bit. And then, what did you get, Mig? I know Will gave you something as well.
Yeah, Will gave me I Am Bread, which is made by the dudes who did Surgeon Simulator.
And I can't wait to see the videos you come up with that, because
oh man,
are you recording that one? Are you recording that one?
Oh yeah. That's why I'm holding off playing it for now. Like I need to experience it raw, untainted, and just go with the flow.
That's awesome. What about you, Will? In the winter sale, did you go?
What did Will give Will?
What did Will?
What did I get? I got a shitload of indies. Well, not a shitload, but I got a couple indies that I've been meaning to get. I got The Novelist, which was an award winner from a year or 2 ago.
Yeah.
I picked up a game called Contrast, which is sort of a platformer where you play. You kind of play as a shadow, and then you switch between being a shadow and as the person.
Is it a puzzle platformer?
Yeah, it's a puzzle platformer basically. I got Among the Sleep, which is where you're the little baby.
Oh, the baby game. Yep.
Yeah, it came with free DLC game. Apparently.
Ooh,
yeah, exactly.
Is it a walker, a baby walker?
No, I don't know. What else did I get? I got. I'm looking through the list now. I'm trying to find it because I have so many fucking games on Steam. It's ridiculous.
Yeah, I have as well. Holy shit! Just I can scroll down for like 2 seconds. Just that, but yeah.
I got Shadowgate, the remake of Shadowgate.
Shadowgate, yeah, that's actually pretty good.
And then I got Shovel Knight, which
Shovel Knight,
which is way better than I thought it would be.
I was actually hoping you would get me Shovel Knight.
Way better than I thought it would be. And I got a Christmas present too from my Secret Santa Steam list. I got Xenonauts.
Xenonauts, what was that? It's the
XCOM like game basically.
Yeah, I consider that the indie version of XCOM, like the indie-ish. But yeah, it's XCOM in a nutshell, really. That's awesome, though. But you've played Shovel Knight. I noticed that you played Shovel Knight like extensively in your Steam. How was that? Because I'm definitely curious about that. I'm planning to pick it up on the PS4 when it comes out.
So for those who don't know what Shovel Knight is, it's a throwback platformer like to the old 8-bit era, I guess. It plays a lot like let's be fair. It plays a lot like Mega Man. I mean, the guy is blue and everything too. When you think about it. So basically, it's an 8-bit retro style platformer where you're jumping on platforms, you're navigating levels, and then at the end of each level is a boss. You beat the boss. You don't get their power or anything, but like, and then you just go through that, and it's great. It's the art style is really really good. I mean, it's kind of hipster nowadays to have an 8-bit retro art style in gaming. Like is
that how it is now? Like when you're 8-bit, you're hipster for gaming.
It's like hipster gamers, right? Like, I like the 8-bit retro style, Are we
hipster? Are we hipster? Because our intro is actually 8-bit.
No. I don't know if we're hipster or not. But,
Like we're technically.
So yeah, it's a platformer. The controls are super tight. Like the controls work really well. The soundtrack is amazing. Like chiptune music. It's probably some of the best chiptunes I've heard, and it's just great fun. Like it's a budget game, and it's really fun. Like I really enjoy it. If you like any old school Mega Man game, you'll definitely love it. For sure.
Is it like an ability progression, or like
You can
just like if you're...
you can get like different sub weapons.
Okay.
It's not so much like a progression as it is in a sense. It's more like Zelda or something like that, where you go to
There's
town,
a hub town, yeah.
and you buy stuff and you upgrade yourself that way. Yeah. So I've been playing a lot of indies. Like I finished quite a few. I finished some of these I've had already for a while. I finished like the Banner Saga. I finished that.
Oh yeah, I saw you play that as well. Like,
yeah, I finished the Vanishing of Ethan Carter. I finished that.
Oh, you did already? Wow.
Yes, it's not that long actually.
Oh, okay.
So just getting through my backlog. You'll play. Most of them are indies. I finished Shadowgate also. It was, but I played it on the easiest difficulty. I have to try it again on the.
Wait, backing up though, Vanishing of Ethan Carter, is it worth getting? Because like I was interested in that like way back, and since you finished it,
it's very. At first, I wasn't sure if I was liking it or not because like the game literally does not give you any tutorial what to do. Like it just sort of throws you in. No, it doesn't even tell you the controls. Nothing. So.
Thanks, game.
Yeah, exactly, right? So you're just sort of wandering around this woody area. You're like, what the fuck am I supposed to do? And then when you finally figure out what you're trying to do, it gets good. Like that's my only complaint with it is that was it so hard not to put in a tutorial, or were they trying to make some sort of weird statement by not including a tutorial?
They expect too much from you.
Yeah, you know, but when it clicks, when you figure out, oh, this is what I'm supposed to be doing, then it gets good. Like,
all right,
it gets
cool.
really good. It's not that long of a game though, so I'd say, you know, if you can get it on sale, get it on sale. I wouldn't pay full price for it though.
We're talking about like a good. What was it, $15 right now, or not even $15? Like
$10 is a good price to pay for it.
$10. All right.
10, yeah. But so I liked it. It's just again like I just was kind of thrown off that there was no tutorial, nothing, and the game says it up front like there is no hand holding in this game. Like okay,
good. That's actually a good pull for me. Actually, I hate hand holding.
But to the point, I think they just took it to an extreme point, like where like you don't know what you don't know what button does what.
Wait, for those who don't know, this Vanishing of Ethan Carter is actually it's played as a first person.
Yep.
And you're playing as correct me if I'm wrong. You're playing as a detective and you're trying to solve a certain murder.
Well, you're trying to find this aforementioned Ethan Carter, basically.
Yeah.
That's why. And then as you're searching for him in this sort of rustic, like middle America village, I suppose, and then like you're kind of uncovering what's happened, as you go along. And sort of piecing together the puzzles. It's got a pretty good atmosphere. It's kind of creepy. It's got a pretty creepy atmosphere overall. And then as you uncover more and more, like it gets really interesting, and you want to find out what happens. And I don't want to spoil the ending or anything, but overall,
yeah, it's very story driven. Like I highly recommend you guys check that out because I was looking at it for a while already, and it looks like it's a very interesting story to go through. Just like, can I say something similar to Gone Home, like where you have to experience
yeah,
it?
It's kind of like Gone Home in that sense.
Yeah.
It's exploratory.
That's what I got there.
But I think it's a bit more interactive than Gone Home because there are segments there where, like, you kind of find several clues, and then there's a point where you have to sort of build a timeline. Like, okay, what happened first? This happened first. This happened next. Da da da. And then from there.
Do you have to build the timeline yourself?
No, what you do is you find all the clues,
enough pieces, and then you put it together.
And then the game will actually sort of prompt you to try to put the pieces together. But if you're not,
first.
But the thing is like if you're not looking for those clues, you can easily pass them over. Like they're they aren't really highlighted on the map. It's really you kind of use your logic like, oh, okay, there's for example, like there's one part in like you're in a mine entrance and like, oh, there's a pickaxe missing. Okay, so I need to find one where the pickaxe is. So you gotta look where you would imagine a pickaxe to be, right? Like it's
That's
not,
pretty cool.
yeah.
That's pretty cool.
Thankfully, the game designers don't put it like oh, okay, we'll put a pickaxe up in the house or some bullshit like that, right? They kind of follow a certain logic.
That is awesome. But yeah, that's the vanishing of Ethan Carter. What about you, Migs? What did you trip out this holiday season? Well, I know you went to Boracay, but
yeah, so I didn't really get to play anything during the break.
Yeah.
But was it January 1st, when after New Year and everything, I just got bored and felt like updating GTA 5 on my PS3 because I missed a few updates.
Okay.
So after that, I jumped in online because I was wondering, hey, is it still snowing online? Because they had that last year also. And I went in and it was still snowing. I think January 1st is the last day where they have snow in Los Santos for online.
Oh, for online.
Yeah,
but not for the real game.
Not for the regular game, just for online. So like you can pick up snowballs and throw it at people as a weapon. And
cool.
There's a video of a guy holding up a convenience store with a snowball.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
It triggers when you do it.
It counts as a weapon hit, yeah. And people go nuts about it. It's fun. Then I'm surprised there are still really low-level people online. Especially on the PS3 version.
The PS3 version? Well, that's a big community. Well, then again, we're talking about GTA here. Yeah.
Yeah, but you'd think they'd all be in the next, the PS4 next-gen version, diba? Like I was thrown into a world with like a few level 5s, a level 10, and I'm like level 50 something. So I have all these really strong guns that they can't use.
You're level 50?
Yeah, we really grinded it out before, everyone got sawa.
That's pretty cool, though. Is there anything else added to the holiday special aside from the snowball and?
I got to play around with the fireworks gun that they had from last year, which is fun. It's like an RPG that shoots out fireworks, and that's it. That's just it.
That's it. No more.
And a few costumes like masks and all that. It was fun. GTA 5 is still a fun game, dude. I wasted like 2 hours again just dicking around.
Yeah, I should do that. I should just prop up my Xbox 360, just turn on my GTA 5.
Yeah, and the updates aren't all that big, like compared to most.
Really?
Yeah, it's like maybe 200 MB.
It's fun to dick around in the story mode, right? Because I have to buy Xbox Live in order to fucking do GTA Online.
Yeah,
that's a problem. Fuck.
Maybe just get the PS4 version, just because.
No.
GTA 5.
No, I don't like the hair effects on that one. So
it doesn't even have it though.
I know. I'm just kidding. That's awesome though. GTA 5. It's still freaking strong. Like the number of people I've known, like 3 people. I shit you not. 3 people that said, should I get the Destiny version, Destiny bundle of PS4 or the GTA 5? And I said GTA 5, and I said the Destiny, based on what they would like.
Yeah.
But they all got the GTA 5 in the end. They didn't go for Destiny. Good for them. For me though, I played. There are 2 games I wanted to mention in this first episode for 2015. I want to talk about Murdered Soul Suspect, but there's one game that took me by surprise, and it's a game I played in New Year's, and I think everybody should play it if you want to play with a couple of friends, or test if you guys can cooperate with each other. The game's called Space Team. It's Space Team, and it's on the iPad, iPhone, and even Android tablets. And
yes, it's on Android. It's on Android and on iPhone. And it's free.
It's free, and it's a quick download. It's a very quick download. I literally got it in a couple of seconds. Essentially, what it is, you play with a couple of friends. I think the minimum is 2 players. So no matter what, you'll have to play with a friend, and you can play up to 4 people. And the idea is, you guys are all in a ship, and you guys have specific roles in the ship to keep it from running, to keep it going. So essentially, like no one's driving, and you guys are pretty much taking care of the knobs and the thing to keep it operational. And through each sector or each stage, essentially you have to go from point A to point B, and every time you press the correct knob on the screen when you see it, it will pretty much propel your rocket or your ship to the end line. And you're essentially every stage you're pretty much trying to avoid this explosion or this blast. So you're pretty much pressured to like do as fast as possible. The thing is, when you see those instructions on what buttons to press, it might not be in your tablet or in your phone, like the knobs and
it might
the
be
buttons.
on someone else's.
It might be someone else. So someone has to like verbally say, "Please turn on the capacitor," whatever, and then someone will have to say, "Yep, I got it," and he'll turn it on, and then he'll make the ship go forward.
And the thing I hate is that all the knobs and stuff have these weird techno-babbly names. So,
yes.
Maybe that's the point.
Yeah, that's the point. So like, turn the Xenoflux capacitor to like.
It'll be like a Star Trek nerd.
Yeah, like then twist the raft shaft or whatever. Like, I don't have that. Like, who has?
That's what she
I don't
said.
know. And it's also like there's also one blame society. And like what? And there's actually society that's blame or not blame. That was the two buttons, literally. You have to press it. So essentially, imagine every single one who's playing the game has their own instructions. Like there's only one instruction per screen. So like in one instruction, you have to turn on this. If someone can get it, it'll prompt your ship will go forward, and you'll get another instruction. But there are 3 instructions to deal with. So imagine like if you're playing with 4 people, those were 4 people shouting commands like turn this, turn that, turn that. It was so hard because like I'm trying to hear something because I'm trying to memorize what I have in my knob and trying to hear if I heard something that I could actually coordinate with, and I can turn and I can move forward.
And at the same time, you're yelling out instructions.
I'm doing the same thing as well, so it was so chaotic.
And but we need to play this together one time.
We should actually. And actually, what I like also is like if you fuck up, like sometimes your buttons start falling apart.
Yeah.
On your screen.
Yeah.
So
like midway, like one of the panels, like you have a little knob where like a little button, and then every now and then that little panel will start like falling down, will start to like hang.
So you have to fix it.
You have to fix it. You have to drag your hand and put it where it was before. And sometimes if it's random, like you have to press that button and it's just hanging, it's dangling there. You have to fix it first before actually turning it on and everything. So you feel the pressure. And aside from that, there's also those weird like, an asteroid's coming. Only one person will notice if an asteroid is coming, and he has to shout, "Asteroid's coming." All of you will have to shake your device.
Yeah, or you have to turn your phones around or some bullshit.
Yeah, no, turning your phone or your tablet around is when a warp zone shows up. When a warp zone shows up, someone has to call it. If they see it, they have to call it, and everybody has to flip their phones or whatever. And someone said, if they all do it, we're safe. If we're not, we're closer to the explosion, in a sense. Mm. And it just gets worse and worse as you go from stage to stage. Because I remember as you go from stage to stage, like there's also one point where all my names of my knobs are mirrored, so I have to flip my tablet in order to flip the name so I can see what the hell I'm going through, what I'm doing. And it kind of messes up because when a warp zone comes in, I have to flip my tablet so to be safe. And then when I bring it back, all my knobs are messed up again. I'm like, oh crap. There's also sometimes some ooze that comes out of the buttons. I have to clean it sometimes because it kind of messes up the name every now and then, so I have to clean that up. It's chaotic, but it's so much fun. I think me and my cousin was able to like reach like Sector 8, I think. No, Sector 10, I'm sorry. We went to Sector 10. We wanted to hit the double digits. And it was a lot of fun. It really shows you if you guys can cooperate with each other. And it's a lot of fun. If you guys want to just type in an Apple Store, I think Google Play, Space Team, download it, a couple of friends, you're going to have a time of your life. I'm not kidding. That was like, 3 hours? Like I think we started playing around 9, and we ended around 11, I think. Just dicking around with Space Team, and I'm like, dude, let's stop playing because it's going to be New Year's in an hour, so we just stopped.
It sounds a lot like if FTL were multiplayer.
Yeah,
which is essentially Lovers in a Dangerous Space-Time.
Yes, it's great, and it's very
or maybe that. Have you heard about that Oculus Rift bomb defusal game?
Oh no, that sounds fun.
Oh yeah, where a couple.
Where one guy is reading off instructions while the other guy wears the Oculus Rift and has to defuse the bomb.
Yeah, there's a video. The whole concept was it's a bomb defusal VR Oculus Rift game, and they brought in I think 6 couples. No, yeah, 6 couples, and the objective is, can the couple coordinate enough to defuse this bomb, right? And so like the girl is doing the VR and then doing the bomb defusal while the boyfriend or whatever is reading the instructions on what to do. And it's hilarious. You can check it out. You can just search it in Google because apparently I think only 1 out of 6 was able to defuse the bomb. Everything else was just all like they're all just quarreling and they just blow up eventually. It's a lot of fun. But yeah, Space Team, it's a great game. I highly recommend it if you guys want to have something with friends, for sure. The other game I want to mention really quick, though, is Murdered Soul Suspect. Thanks again, Will. I don't think I was ever going to bother to even get this. And thankfully I did. It has a good story. I have to tell you that right now. It's actually a story worth going through. Murdered Soul Suspect is pretty much about this guy called Ronan. He's a detective, and he was on the trail of a serial killer called the Bell Killer. And during the start of the game, he was able to confront the Bell Killer. Sadly, the Bell Killer was able to kill him in a way. And when he died, Ronan becomes a ghost. And just like the whole usual story of ghosts, they have unfinished business. That's why they're wandering around the plane, the Earth. He has to figure that out, and he thinks that his unfinished business is to solve the Bell serial killer, to solve it, figure out who's doing it and why he's doing it. So that's essentially the premise of the game, and you're trying to solve it as a ghost in a way. And you're team up with this other person who's like, I think like a psychic. So you're kind of she's doing all the physical things while you're the ghost being the whole paranormal kind of deal. It's not the gameplay. Sadly, is not something to look forward to. Like it's actually one of the most dullest gameplays I've experienced. Like it's. I think the best way to describe it, I think I described it in chat when you're talking about it. It's like playing Mickey Mouse Clubhouse. It's like an episode of Mickey Mouse Clubhouse where like you have to pick what specific object you need to solve this specific problem or the specific clue or case. That's all it is really. You go to a specific investigation or an area, you get all the clues, and then you start matching which makes sense. Like what would convince this person that this is true. So you have to pick like a series of words, and if you get it wrong, you'll start canceling out the ones that are also wrong, and then it'll slowly eventually get you to the right answer, and then that will propel you forward into the game. That's what you see most of the time in terms of investigations. Pretty much picking what you think is right. I haven't experienced yet. Like I think I'm halfway through the game now, and I haven't experienced yet a game where you have to do like some kind of a puzzle where you have to really think and then have some kind of consequence. So far, it's just more like mix and match, which matches where if you get it wrong, you have a bigger chance of getting it right because like they're starting to negate all the other wrong answers and all that. And it happens over and over. And it's very dull. It's hard to experience it for a game that's about being an actual ghost and to having the ability to solve it.
It sounds like being a ghost doesn't actually add anything to the game. Like that stuff you're describing could be done by a live detective, right?
Yeah.
Like so.
That's why I was like saying they had like a lot of missed opportunities as like you already have the protagonist as a ghost. You didn't really quite. Established or made use of like him being a ghost or something like that, or some unique way of like solving mystery that a regular detective can't. Granted, he can go through walls and then see specific clues, but you can see the sense of repetitiveness in the investigations just by the third investigation that you have to go through. Like it's just the same thing over and over, and then I don't see much of a change The only time they changed the gameplay in Murder Soul Suspect, is when they start attaching their their stealth elements in the game.
Oh yeah, you have to pass by the mentors or
Yeah,
some shit.
demons rather. You and I hate stealth games, and I have to hide from these demons. I have to hide them within. I have to like in this kind of like I don't know what they are. I'm not sure if they're ghosts, but they're like parang essences around
You
the
have to
stage.
ghost bust while being a ghost.
Yeah, essentially. And all you gotta do to ghost bust these guys or take them down is to catch them from behind. They're like patrolling them like mindless AIs as usual, and it's so easy to do because you have these hiding spots to hide Ronan, and once they're like you're behind them, all you gotta do is get out of your hiding spot, go behind them. I think I was playing with the keyboard and mouse, hold R, and then do some quick time event, which is pretty much like press W and left click at the same time, and then boom, that ghost is dead. Next one, and that's it. That's pretty much the stealth element of Murder Soul Suspect. It's so stupid. Like I don't know why. I think that's their way of like changing up the gameplay, but I don't see any point of it at all. Maybe just to have a little bit of tension or some kind of enemy as a ghost, but I don't see the point of it at all. I don't appreciate it when I have to go through that every now and then. And apparently I see a little bit of a difficulty ramp from 2 enemies to 3. That's really that's all I can see. Them changing it up. What else can I say about Soul Suspect? The story is pretty much, it's interesting though. It's very, very interesting because as you go through the city, you explore the city and all that, and you go through the investigations. There's a lot of fucking collectibles in this game. Like you will pick up a lot of crap that pretty much it's like notes and articles about the Bell killer, the serial killer, and then the city, the town, Ronan. It's well written to the point that it's actually very interesting to read these things, and then to see like because apparently there's this Bell killer that's like he killed lots of them, lots of victims, to the point that I start to wonder what the hell the police are really doing because they can't find a single clue on who this is. But there's a lot, and there's a lot of gruesome ways of how he killed them. So it's very interesting to read. And then it's propelling me to keep going forward because I'd like to know what's going on because like halfway through it, it's not materializing yet at this point. But there's another collectible that I also want to mention because it's a scary element in the game because every now and then you can find these specific objects where you have to reveal as a ghost. And if you reveal it, you collect them, and usually in that area you have to collect maybe around 5 or 7 of them. Like for example, you have to pick up like 7 gas tanks, like 7 I don't know, gas whatever. If you do that though, you get to actually read or listen to a story, like a scary story about a specific serial killer. And I've picked up around 3 now, and they're really good. They're freaky as hell. Like I think I don't want to share it about it right now, but to the point where I kind of want to go back and then try to collect all of it and then listen to it because, like, Sana, I played this game in Murder Soul Suspect during October for our October horror month because I'm not kidding. Those were freaky stories from these collectibles, and I couldn't wait. I can't wait to find the others. But that's essentially Soul Suspect for me in a nutshell so far.
Well, I mean, it sounds like I think I got the game at a good price then for you, considering it's very average from what you're telling me. Like
it's a very missed opportunity at this point. Like,
oh, dude, I know what happens in that story, and those collectible stories are better than the main story.
That's what I was saying. That's why I'm like so interested because I might share one later, but it was so good. It's really good that
it could have been so much better. Yeah,
I was able to I backtrack just for one story, and I heard it, and then like, worth the backtrack. It's so freaky. But yeah, that's about it for Solar Murdered. Like, I remember being super excited for this game just by the concept. They did not capitalize on the concept at all. Like, Screw that. I mean, being a ghost, be a detective now.
A ghost where you can't even go through all the walls.
You can't because
Of reasons.
apparently, if you become a ghost, you see the past of the town, like how the
No,
town
you
was.
see it's in old witchy times about like the old town.
Yeah, you can see like for example, if you see a building, you can
They
see
put
it's
some
like
anti-ghost shit back then.
yeah, like because I remember like there's once like I saw a building. It's all like built up. It's okay. Nothing's wrong with it. But the ghost, there's actually some more. There's like a couple of walls that are like going through that building. It's like all burnt up and broken. So apparently, like the building before that building was all like something happened to it, like it
Had
burnt
some
down.
anti-witch magic on
Yeah,
it that prevents you.
it shows the past. You can show the past of that town through, and I guess that's the reason like why you
It's
can't
really
go through
dumb.
walls. It's very weird. I can teleport in specific
Yeah,
areas,
you get that midway. I saw.
and I can also like possess cats for I don't know what reason. I don't know why cat. I don't know why
You
the
can
cat.
possess cats.
That's it.
Wow.
To
Yeah.
jump out of windows because you
Jump
can't
out of
do
windows.
that yourself.
There's actually a cat where I thought, oh, a cat. I might be able to find a collectible here.
And the cat doesn't like
hilarious.
it when you possess it.
I can press Q for meow, and that's it. That's all I can do.
You can meow as a cat?
Yeah, as a cat.
Wow.
It serves no purpose, but you can do it.
I can do it.
Wow.
Diversity, my friend. Diversity. But that's Murder Soul Sauce. But might talk about it again next week because I'm definitely gonna finish it. I'm not gonna just stop it. I'm definitely curious about the story, and especially those collectibles. So most likely you'll hear from me again like next week. And that's it. That's our impressions. We will now let's look forward now. Let's look on what's going on with 2015. We are now in the first week of January. January and February.
What apart from game releases, like, do you think anything big is going to happen industry-wise? Like, I think
I hope that Xbox does something.
I think it's too early, though.
Well, I know
Usually-
Steam machines should be making an appearance within this year.
I'm sure people forgot about those now for a while because we haven't gotten updates with that.
I think they missed their opportunity already. I think if we're talking about Steam machines, if they want to make a name for themselves,
Right.
it should have been last year. Because right now, that's pretty much what happened last year was like PS4, Wii U, and the Xbox One pretty much stapled up. We're here. We have this many games. Buy us. And then, I'm sure like all three had an amazing Christmas and everything. No one bothered them at all. And I think they missed their opportunity because like a lot of people are now stapled to, this is my console. You're now asking me to pay more
for a Steam machine.
because it's more expensive than the PS4 and the Xbox One, based on like the initial
Well, yeah,
prices of like
it's basically a gaming PC in a box.
A dedicated gaming PC.
with Steam OS on it and then with a specific controller for it. I mean,
Yeah,
cool.
and the weird thing is, like, if you try, because from what I understand, a Steam box is basically going to use the Steam Big Picture mode,
I'm guessing it
or
would
Steam
do that.
OS. It's the
Yeah.
Steam OS, the
right?
operating system.
And like,
It's the big picture.
if you know, like, not all Steam games are controller compatible. So like, how are they going to address that also?
No, that's why they have the controller. That's why they have that Steam controller where
Yeah, but
you can
didn't they pull
save
back
time.
that design?
No,
the nipple
it's not
design.
final. They're going
Yeah,
back
the
They're
game
going back
nipple
to the
design.
design. Like I know they're gonna put an analog. They're gonna put like analog. I don't know. It's very weird, but it's not final.
Maybe
but-
that's why the Steam boxes aren't out yet because they're trying to fix all the kinks.
Yeah, for sure. But the ones that are not controller enabled, like for example Civ 5 or whatnot, they've already shown that the controller, the Steam controller, can play those games like very well.
You could probably just plug in a USB keyboard and mouse.
Probably,
Yeah,
but
I'm
that
guessing
sort
it would
of
work
that
fine.
sort of defeats the purpose of couch gaming. Like, because using a keyboard and mouse while on the couch is really cumbersome. Unless
It
you
is.
have,
Yeah,
like,
but I guess it
No,
depends on
but
the person
take note
and setting it
that
up.
I think the PS4 you can plug in a mouse and keyboard for like let's say Final Fantasy 14.
oh, really? Okay, I didn't know that.
You can do they have those options, but of course they'll go for the latter, which is like the couch co-op or couch lazy mode.
Yeah, maybe they'll require all the games to like update with controller support of some kind,
Yeah.
and that's probably why it's taking so long. But I don't know. That's my guess.
But that's what I'm just saying. Like, and when it comes to the Steam machines, like, yes, we might see more of them within 2015. But I think they missed a big opportunity, which was around of last year. As
Right.
much as
When people were still sort of figuring out, do I want to go PC, PlayStation, Xbox? I'm thinking this year we'll see also the Wii U becoming taken seriously again as a real contender.
Yeah.
Because they've got Zelda coming up, they've got Star Fox, a lot of good stuff on the Wii U, and with the Amiibos doing as well as they are, I think Nintendo would be dumb not to really take a strong look at that Pokemon recommendation we've had for years now.
Yeah,
you heard that Samus and Fox are being discontinued though, or something?
Really?
Why?
That's what people are saying now, and I think it's the same reason that the previous three, the Wii Fit Trainer, Marth, and
Villager.
Villager.
Hey, the Wii Fit Trainer is not doing well. How do we make them buy it? Oh, we'll just say we'll discontinue it.
No. I think like this is just my guess, but I think shops are just saying that it's being discontinued because they're fed up about people constantly asking for them.
Yeah.
I think it's just a case where Nintendo didn't make enough figures and need more time to make more, and that's it.
Reggie needs more time. Reggie and his body.
The crowd.
I really hope they release a Reggie amiibo. I would so get that.
The actual Reggie face, or you're talking about the
with
the
like
Mii
Reggie
version?
in a suit? Like I would buy
The Mii
that.
version, or like the actual Reggie? The
Imagine
very
a
detailed
few
Reggie.
Reggie.
A figure.
Reggie's
like
like
Shane's accessories. He's a
Nintendo
man.
president.
And then he has accessories. He can become like the Mecha Reggie, right?
Yeah.
Like,
Put shades on his head, and he's a mech.
Yeah, why not? Yeah, it becomes a mech. Oh yeah, that's the only difference, right? It's the shades.
Right.
That's the only difference. The shades.
oh god, I would love that, man. If Nintendo has any proper sense of humor,
Oh,
that could
wait.
be like a
No, you know
Club
what?
Nintendo exclusive or some shit. I don't know.
You know
one
what?
knows.
I just found out about some. I found out about some shops that can do 3D printing, and like you give them an image of something, and then they have a team who will render it out in 3D and print it for you. So we can possibly have them make a Reggie Fils-Aimé action figure.
I'm pretty sure you can buy like a Vince McMahon action figure and just mod the head.
And just mod the head.
It'd be Reggie.
So we have the 3D print the head and we put it on the Vince McMahon suit.
Something like that. I don't know. Anyways,
no. Going back to the Wii U before anything else. If any of you have like ignored the Wii U, I advise you not, because the Wii U right now, if you look about the number of games it has right now, it actually looks very appealing. Super Smash Brothers,
very appealing, and some
Super
really
Mario,
good titles on the way.
Wonderful 101, Bayonetta 2, Zombie U, like even the launch ones, like they have a good amount of games right where you think, I think Wii U now is possible. And my nephew, or quote unquote Santa, got him a Wii U.
Nice.
Christmas. Yeah.
With Smash Brothers?
With Smash Brothers, Captain
Nice,
Toad,
steal it.
Mario. I'm trying to do that right now. I'm working on it. I want to play Bayonetta 2 so bad.
Can we borrow it for review purposes?
He actually asked me that. Are you actually going to use the Wii U for reviewing purposes? And I said, I might.
Say yes.
We do. We do have copies of Bayonetta 2.
We have Wii games, Wii U games.
I have two options to get Bayonetta 2. I want to get Wonderful 101 now, just because.
I'm gonna get Wonderful 101 eventually because it's cheaper now.
It's really cheap now, yeah.
It's like
really,
$1 brand new or something.
No, going back again, my point is, I checked out. They got the Wii U. They got those games, Captain Toad, Super Smash
Tell him
Brothers.
it's a piece of shit and take it from him. Like that console sucks. I want
Dude,
it.
I set it up for him. I fixed it up. I booted up Super Smash Brothers. He played around with it. I'm just staring at it on like a 32-inch or like 32 or 40-inch TV. Crisp, really crisp, 60 FPS. He's playing 8v8. I mean 8v8. 8 players.
Isn't it? 8v8. It's completely smooth.
Yeah, and it was so smooth and looked so pretty. Like shit not. It
also displays the screen on the tablet as you're playing it on the TV.
With no problems whatsoever. Like it was
right?
smooth and it was really nice. I'm like, that's actually pretty impressive, to be honest. Like it looked really fancy. It looked really fancy for a Smash.
I saw a video of 8-player Captain Falcons in a Hyrule Temple stage.
Oh god!
Do you know the Fire Emblem theme song there? like the combat theme song.
Yeah.
Uh, at some point in the song, they would all stop and do the taunt in alignment with the song, like as if giving it lyrics. And after that, they all fight again. And when it's the time for the song again, they stop and taunt. And they just do that until everyone dies.
That's so weird.
It's amazing.
But I'm saying the Wii U is looking very appealing right now, and especially now in 2015. Like what also Will said, we'll have a new Zelda, we'll have a new Star Fox.
Oh, both are coming out this year. So
it looks very appealing. The PS4, we know what the PS4 status is. It's still
Sony has been very good at letting people know, like, yo, this stuff is coming for the PS4.
Yeah.
Yeah, and the only real question is like we is with Microsoft, because we know a few things that are coming on Xbox. We still waiting on Halo, and
which they have now. They actually, speaking of Halo, they have now a Halo 5 beta ongoing on Xbox One. It looks like Halo, by the way.
Yeah, we'll continue to see Killer Instinct finished off with Season 2, and that's really it. I mean,
there's also Quantum Break.
Oh, that's right, and then that Dragon game that the.
Oh yeah, and don't forget the Tomb Raider.
And the Tomb Raider.
Tomb Raider is exclusive to Xbox One, so there's still a lot of things to look forward to for Xbox One, but they're not. I don't feel them as like
as strong as they were earlier in the year, right?
Yeah, and they're not that vocal about what to expect with Xbox One. I think they're trying to figure that out too.
How confident they are, because they have nothing to show.
Because Sony, I think Sony knew what was going on. Like, oh, we're selling a lot. Let's just fucking bring it home. Like they made the PlayStation experience, which we talked about a couple episodes ago. Like they didn't have to do that. They didn't have to make an event specifically for Sony or for the PS4.
And actually, it's also to a point now when we're actually seeing that a lot of multi-platform games are actually worse on the Xbox One. Like unlike in the last.
Did you say that already? Really?
In the last generation, well, like Destiny, for example. I mean, the Xbox players got shafted on that big time.
It's just Sony's being really strong on the exclusivity right now in terms like even. Yeah.
But of course, we're going to be seeing our usuals. Battlefields and Call of Duties,
Call of Duty of the Year,
Assassin's Creeds and shit. So that's all there to look forward to if you're looking forward to that sort of thing.
I'm gonna predict this right now. Like since you mentioned Call of Duty and we're start of 2015, I'm gonna predict the Call of Duty is not gonna release a release this year.
Really? You feel it's not gonna? They're not gonna.
They're gonna really make it rest because.
Hopefully they do, but it's Activision though.
The last three titles, they've been going down and down in pre-order sales and actual sales, and it hasn't gotten any better.
But it's still making money,
them from killing Guitar Hero.
That's the thing; they're still making money, so I don't see them.
Well, they're still making money, but if they're smart. They're gonna try to
exactly if they're smart, but it's Activision.
I know. But they're gonna be if they're smart, they can try to alleviate the whole. They're gonna stop Call of Duty, and they're gonna make Destiny as the forefront first.
Oh God!
Because Destiny is also Activision, and they've already said they have a 10-year plan. So there's gonna be a new Destiny game on November, and they don't want Destiny and Call of Duty to hit each other.
Destiny of Duty.
And as much as everybody is thinking it's the most repetitive thing in the world, they already have a community already established. People want to be fucking zombies in terms of like better loot and shit. And I think they found a new franchise where they can actually keep one on the bench for a while for people to forget, and then focus on that, get a little bit of franchise fatigue, and then come back stronger than ever with more better like engines or whatnot. Because seriously. I think they're smart. I think they're smart at least. I think what's his name again?
It all comes down to the big wigs, and they don't know any better. But they haven't announced a Call of Duty yet, unlike Ubisoft, which they already have.
They announced
so many Assassin's Creeds lined up.
Assassin's Creed Victory.
So there's still a chance that they might skip a year.
That's my prediction. If it comes out next year, then fine, whatever. Do whatever you want. It's fine. But yeah, what else do you guys what do you think will show up in 2015?
Well, it's actually also a pretty good year for PC gaming. I think a lot of the Kickstarters.
It was a good year for PC gaming.
Uh, it is. I mean, we have there. There was one title that was on my mind, and now I can't remember what it was. StarCraft. Yeah, there you go. StarCraft is this year, I think. The last of StarCraft 2,
the Protoss.
StarCraft 2, the Protoss one. Yeah, that's gonna be.
People are very excited about the story.
You should just imagine kids grew up in the time that StarCraft 2, the first one, came out, and it's still not done.
Well, yeah, but I mean that's all the more reason why to be excited for the Protoss campaign. I mean it is StarCraft. It's the you can't deny its pull, right? It's big. We've got a lot of the Kickstarter, as I mentioned, a lot of Kickstarter games are coming. Should be finishing up this
Mighty
year.
Number 9.
Right there,
Mighty Number.
There's coming out this year. The Mega Man's cousin.
Mega Man Reborn.
Mega Man Reborn, is that what you're calling it?
Mega Man's new job.
Mega Man's new job.
Torment: Tides of Numenera. That's the sequel, the spiritual sequel to Planescape Torment. That's coming. That's a Kickstarter. That should be releasing this year. What else is there? There's Rise of the Incarnates. If you remember that the
Gundam game on PC.
That's coming out.
Right. Heroes of Might and Magic 7, so there's another one of that series, which has always been a fun series for me. There's a new Total War game coming out this year. Hotline Miami 2. I'm trying to think of more. But there's a good number of PC-only titles that are coming out, and so it's good to be a PC gamer. And PC is also where a lot of these indies tend to start out, and they branch out from there. So lots of good stuff. But let's take a look what's happening in the first 2 months. So stuff to get excited about.
With January, not that much really, but there's a couple of them. Like if you guys are interested, for me not really, but Resident Evil Remastered. If you guys are looking into if you haven't played the first Resident Evil, there's going to be a quote-unquote remastered version of it for Xbox One, PS4, Xbox 360, and PS3 and PC. They're really just remastering the whole first game of Resident Evil.
The PS3 version, I think, already came out here last month.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I remember Data Blitz posting about it. I guess it's the Asian release.
Oh, okay.
So,
but anyway, I guess the US release will be coming out, or the next gen or current gen, will be coming out on January. On January 20. Saints Row 4. If none of you guys have played Saints Row,
get out of hell.
There's going to be a re-elected Game of the Year-ish version. It's also remastered, I guess. I guess I can call it a remastered because Saints Row 4 is going to PS4, Xbox One as well, together with the Get Out of Hell expansion on January 20.
It's a fun game.
If you guys want, it's a fun game. The superpowers, man. Superpowers. Dying Light. If you guys want more zombies and a little bit of parkour, because you're cool. Xbox One, PS4, and PC on January 27. For all you PC people, you're getting GTA 5 on January 27. I'm laughing because GTA 5 is like in 3 years. I mean,
you're gonna get the hair physics.
No, I'm saying last year GTA 5 came out on PS3, Xbox 360. This year, 2014.
You mean last year?
Oh, last year. Sorry, it came out in the previous gen. 2014, it came out on current gen, and now this year, 2015, it came out on PC. So technically, Grand Theft Auto is considered as a viable.
Yeah, technically, it's release. 3 years.
That's why I'm laughing because technically, it is a sweet game. But yeah, January 27 for that. Grim Fandango for the PS4 for Sony people.
Yes.
January 27 as well. PS4 Vita. It's the remastered of that really, really classic and very, very cool game from Tim Schafer. And that's it for January, I think.
Somebody explain to me what the hell is Funk of Titans for Xbox One?
I don't know. It's part of the list. I see it, but I don't want to touch that. Funk. Okay, fine. I'll touch it.
What the hell is Chariot for Wii U? What are these games?
Do we dare check what these? Wait.
Could this be the Magus of 2015?
I can't find it. Funk of Giants.
Funk of
Funk of
Titans.
Titans. Oh, I'm sorry. I typed
have no
Titans.
idea what that
But
is.
anyway, those are the ones in January. Is there anything you're actually interested in January? Because I'm not touching Dying Light, for example, or Resident Evil. Maybe Grim Fandango, maybe. Oh my god, I see the Funk of Titans already. It's a freaking black guy with an afro. He's a platformer.
Is he a giant? Is he a titan?
No, it's a platformer, and it looks like he's in the. Anyway, what about in Feb? Feb is actually a little bit more interesting. The first big game I think on February will be Evolve. That 4 versus 1, sorry, multiplayer game. It's gonna be coming out on Xbox One, PS4, and PC on Feb 10. I'm gonna get that. Are you guys gonna get that? No,
I don't know.
because
I don't think my
depends.
PC can run it.
It depends on how many. It depends on how many people are going to be playing on PC. Like if I have more friends buying it on PC or on the PS4, either or. But I want to buy Evolve. I want to be a monster and just rip everybody apart. Kirby for the Wii U. Kirby and the Rainbow Curse is coming out on February 13th.
I think that's the sequel to the DS one where you had to draw lines. Yeah, no. Yeah. The one where he's a ball and you have to draw lines for him to run on. I think that's
Oh, sorry, yeah. What else we have here? Dead or Alive 5, Final Round, which is another, I guess, remastered or port.
I expect the PC mods to be wonderful.
Yeah, it's on Xbox One.
Bouncy.
It's on Xbox One, 360, PS4, PS3, and PC on Feb 17. The next one is Resident Evil Revelations 2, Episode 1. Yeah, it's an episodic game. Fuck, alright. Don't even remember. I forgot about that. Resident Evil Revelations 2, Xbox One, all the platforms except Wii U. On Feb. It's easier to say it that way. Feb 17.
It includes previous gen.
Yeah.
The Wii U.
Except the Wii U. Feb 17 on the PSN, and Feb 18 on XPL and PC. And when I was reading this, Will was also, even I was surprised. There's actually a new Total War Attila. I don't know what that is. I should actually know that.
It's a Total War game. So if you ever played any Total War game, these are these big, like, grand strategic games on the PC. They've gone through. First one was Shogun, and then I think they did Rome, Napoleon, a couple other eras. They're very good. They're just I don't know how to classify them except grand strategy games. I suppose is the right way to say it.
I've heard good things about Shogun.
Shogun's really good. Shogun's actually the best one. That's my most favorite one among that franchise. But if you guys have watched Lord of the Rings, the third movie, and if you want to control that army, you can do that here in Total War.
Exactly. There you go. That's exactly how you should think about it. No, that's true.
Yeah.
That's how you should think about
next game. Yeah, the next game, The Order, 1886 for the PS4 on Feb 20. I am not gonna touch that at all because I am kind of wary.
I didn't even know it was already coming out because they barely showed it.
They barely showed. No, they did. They showed the same shit over and over, just like gunfights over and over.
Yeah, but they're mostly like QuickTime events or very scripted segments. Like I don't think I've seen a full-on just raw gameplay of it yet.
That's true.
So I don't know.
And that's it for Feb, actually. There's also
Revelations Episode 2 is also coming out the same month.
Oh yeah, you're right. Yeah, Resident Evil Revelations 2, because it's the sequel to Revelations is going to be an episodic game. I think it's going to be 5 episodes, and it's Capcom's way of being experimental with their franchises. You can buy the game for everything or in retail. I don't know when the retail's going to come out, but if you want to buy it per episode, I think it's going to be maybe $6 or something in that range. But episode 2 will come out on the same on Feb 24 for PSN and Feb 25 on XPL and PC on all platforms as well except the Wii U. And that's Feb. I don't want to touch March yet. March is March is summer in a sense, right?
For us.
Yeah, it's
not for everyone else. I don't know. It's weird in this country.
No, can I consider it anyway? But yeah, that's Jan and Feb.
I guess
And
it's spring for like people in the States.
and thankfully, for me, I'm just gonna say that January and Feb seems a little bit light because there's a lot of like backlog I kind of have to work on when it comes to gaming. But I think the only game I'll be picking up is I think will be Evolve, like the next big one that I might just pick up like on day one. Will have to be Evolve. Jan, I'm not seeing anything interesting.
Not even Grim
But there,
Fandango.
Grim Fandango. Yeah, you're right. Maybe Grim Fandango.
I think that's the best one on the list for me at least.
For January.
Mm.
But that's the first 2 months. That's light, thankfully. And I'm actually checking out the whole list of 2015 that considered release. Like there's barely anything actually. Like I think probably by Feb or by March, that's when we'll start to get up all these announcements, all these release dates start to like they start putting release dates on these many games that are currently on TBA. So we'll have to see. What you will?
What am I looking forward to? Obviously, the Order 1886, from what we've seen, looks amazing. Grim Fandango, for sure. And I guess the Resident Evil remakes. Those are the ones I'm kind of looking forward to.
I'm actually going to buy the Order and like keep it on the side. Just in case.
Maybe not right away. I mean, that game's going to be around for a while, so there's no urgency for me to buy it on release day.
Yeah.
But, yeah. So, actually, there's nothing that I desperately need to buy right away. Apart from, well, not even Grim Fandango Remaster. I mean, I have the original Grim Fandango still here. So,
you do?
Yeah, I do. I have a copy.
And you don't have the platforms to play them on either.
Well,
so.
it still works on the PC if I kind of manangle it a little bit to run on DOS.
Touch it around. I mean,
you know.
Wait, is this not the remastered one?
No. I mean, I'm saying for me, even that is not the priority because I have Grim Fandango on the CD. Like I have a copy of it from years ago.
Oh my god, that's fucking rare now, dude.
You want to let's play that?
Dude, Tim Schafer had to like ask a lot of people to get files. Could have called you.
Yeah, he could have. Well, I don't have the actual file. I have the finished game. I'm sure he has. I'm sure Tim Schafer has the finished game too.
He doesn't. I remember the interview. He had to he had to call out his previous developers and all that because he didn't have everything.
He doesn't have a copy of his own game, like that.
The files for like programming and like the codes.
That's why I wouldn't have that. Like I have the game. I just don't have the like all the programming shit that went behind it.
It would be anyway. Yeah, that's Grim Fandango. But yeah, the big topic now for this episode though, is be since it's New Year, we've seen the best. We've seen what 2014 has given us, and I don't know. For me, I consider it not the best. Even like it had a great number of games and all that, but believe it or not, it had a lot of overhyped games, a lot of disappointments around the same time, like Assassin's Creed.
Unity, yeah.
Unity being like, it's a great game, but it's the buggiest thing in the world, or like Destiny being not what we expected, or Watch Dogs, or what else do we have? There's so many like really hyped games, a lot of disappointments. Not even a great year for 2014. That's why our big topic now is pretty much like what do we consider like the best years in gaming in general. Gaming. There's a lot of years.
Yeah.
There's a lot of like great years.
Also, one thing you have to consider for me now that I think about it is, like, I think I enjoyed gaming more when I wasn't so in the know of what's happening in the industry. Like, I was just excited to see, like, oh, this new game's coming out. That looks cool. You know,
like the blissful ignorance of the industry.
I guess in a way it's kind of a double-edged sword being so into gaming in that you know what games are good, but at the same time, you know all the bullshit that happens behind the scenes too, right? And,
yep.
And all
it's
that.
It's a whole other world.
Like, would I be happier if I was like a complete bro gamer and like, dude, Call of Duty for life?
Duty, 420 no scope.
Exactly.
120 FPS.
But yeah, the greatest years in gaming, gosh, that's hard because that's for me. That's like 20 20 years, 25
Can we just
years
like
of...
go on which generation of console or something?
No, well, it's really hard to like really gauge what's the best years. But
Yeah.
when I was
Yeah,
doing a
'cause,
couple of
like
when I was doing a couple of research, like there's a lot of like it can stem from like so many different angles from like based on the industry itself and like what they've accomplished as an industry, whatever, or as a consumer in general, like what games were just like that came out on that year that made it just an amazing year for anybody to be a gamer at that point. And if we're going to talk about just like on that note, on like being a consumer or being a gamer at that
I
point,
think that's the best way to do it because
yeah,
honestly, if you're going to talk about like technological advances and stuff, that's easy. That's the first generation. That because that's the where it started, right? I mean,
yeah,
for me, that's probably the best moment as far not from a consumer point of view, but from a developing of the industry sort of view. Is that the Atari, ColecoVision, and television in the '70s,
yeah.
where that it is finally
No, so
coming.
to make it a little bit easier with this,
No, go on. Sorry.
sorry, to make it a bit easier since it's really hard to like really gauge. We're just talking about like what games came out on that specific year to make it like up. This is an amazing time to be a gamer at that specific year. And when I was doing a couple of research about like what were the best years, it's mostly around the 90s. Like if you're a 90s kid, you pretty much got the best or the best chunk uh, out of the game industry as a whole, no matter what platform. Like for example, if we say, I'll say for example, if 1997, if you're actually a child in 97 where you start playing games, you pretty much got a chunk of so many games that are now considered like staple franchise biggies now. Like I think '97's when Grand Theft Auto first started, together with Gran Turismo.
I think that's also a good period of time. Was like the mid to late '90s, or actually the '90s in general.
basically the
From
3D era of gaming.
no, not the 3D era, but basically
No,
the evolution from 16-bit, 8-bit gaming up
The
to
32.
like the PlayStation 2 sort of era. Um, like even though we can make fun of PS1 graphics all we want, right? But
it's not really, but it's not really 3D because like if we say like for example '97, Gran Turismo came out. Everybody loved Gran Turismo when it came out, but we also had Grand Theft Auto that came out the same year.
but I
That's not
like
really
it.
3D, was it? It
But
It's
wasn't.
back
technically a 3D game, GTA
Oh, it
1.
was okay. Yeah, one. We're talking about one. Yeah.
Yeah.
the overhead one,
Yeah, the buildings were
The
3D.
very first one. It came out
Yeah,
in '97.
the characters were 2D, but like the buildings were in 3D, and like there was a axis like you can go up and down elevation wise or something like that. So it's technically a 3D game.
well, personally for me, like I have the most fun. I guess it's nostalgia speaking, but for me, it was really the Super Nintendo era, Super Nintendo Genesis rivalry.
With Sonic and Mario.
Yeah, that, and then just like Genesis does what
What
Nintendo.
Nintendo? I remember all
Nintendo.
the fucking EGM magazines for that, where they had fans drawing fan art of Mario killing Sonic or
And
something.
vice versa, yeah, crap like
It's
that.
hilarious.
And now Sonic's just sort of like a hanger
He's
on.
clinging on everything.
It's like, don't forget about me.
He's got to go fast.
I used to be something back in the day.
Now he's just trying to keep up.
But the Super Nintendo era for me was great because that's where I really got into gaming. Like we had a family computer, like a Japanese Famicom, like the NES basically.
Oh yeah, we all had those.
And so we all played Contra and Battle City and whatever, right? And we had all those.
Contra Stage 2.
And we had all those 16-in-1 carts and whatever's.
Oh, dude, we had like 59 in ones where it was just 10 games.
Yeah, like 59 with like 10 games like Mario
And sprite hacks for the rest of the...
Yeah. But like I really got into gaming. Yeah, Super Nintendo, and that's actually where I also started to make it a point to try to buy original games as much as I could because
Could you? Because like...
in the Super Nintendo era. But then
all right.
yeah. But then, the PlayStation came along and suddenly games were like $5, $20 a piece of
Then original games were like 500 something.
No. An original PlayStation game was still like 1,000, 2,000.
Oh yeah,
bucks,
1,000,
right?
and then they were garbage, most of them.
Yeah, and then what I ended up doing was I sort of had if I really liked the game, like I would look for the original copy. So I would have like a original copy that I could show on my library. But I also had like one of those old Case Logic binders of games. I still have mine for the PlayStation 2 somewhere here. Just for those listening who are not in the Philippines, just so you have an understanding of how it is here, like piracy is kind of the norm here. In that time period, like don't hate us for it because that was really the only way you could get a lot of the games back
and that's
then.
why PlayStation is so big here, because piracy is so heavy for the PS1 and PS2.
And that's pretty much grew like up the PS there. Yeah, like I said, Sony has completely like overthrown the not really all overthrown, but it's the majority. It's the most demanded.
Even when
box.
even remember when the PlayStation 3 was like not yet there were no fix for it. I don't think that ever happened actually.
There was, I know, and there was. It's through an HD before on the PS3.
And people,
but I don't know why. I think some people do it. But
some people do it, but it's not easy anymore, like to pirate shit. That's why
it's not easy, and
to buy the game.
It seemed kind of easier to buy compared to like. Because I remember when the PS3 came out, it was $4,000 per game.
Right.
And it was very hard. And I guess it was very hard to get into.
Yeah, because these were Blu-rays, right? Like and everything. And I remember the Xbox 360 already had pirated games at the time.
Yeah, it was better to actually go to Xbox 360.
So a lot of Filipino gamers actually moved to the 360 for that last console gen.
Yeah, just for the piracy.
And it wasn't until I guess the price parity became a little bit more reasonable that PS3 sort of came back.
We started getting Region 3 copies.
Yeah, and remember also like back then we had no data blitz. I mean, it was there, but it wasn't. The store it is today, right? Like it didn't have that.
Yeah.
It didn't have a wide distribution. So when you went to buy games, you went to these little like tiange like bazaars, and then they'd have like little like folders of games you just look through, and just you'd pick like 10 of them, and you'd pay like $100 for 10 games, stuff like that. But what I would do then was like I would say, oh God, like Final Fantasy, I love this game. I need to get the original copy of this, so I can actually have like a copy for.
So you were justifying the piracy of the game by
I always never liked it when people like, I got like so many games in my house, man. Like,
and they're all like burned copies.
They're all like burned copies. Like half of them don't work, like shit like that.
I shit you not. I'm not sure what birthday that was, but I had a PlayStation 1, and it was so cheap to the point that I think my parents their gift to me for my birthday was 20 games. I was able to go. I remember when I went to Green Hills, and it was so cheap or something. It's better than. I think it was cheaper than buying a toy. I think at that point, and he just says, "Pick whatever you want." So I just picked whatever I wanted. I think among that group was actually the Xenogears. I think I grabbed all of that, and then it was that cheap. That's that crazy, the piracy. It was that wild, and when the original prices went down, and then the mode or the community of actually buy and sell, because that just blew up. Because when people start buying originals, because it makes more sense, and then the online being more viable.
The online actually was a big thing because again back then online was not really a factor.
Yeah,
when buying games.
There were no patches and junk.
But the more and more that became prevalent in gaming, the more we saw a shift towards the really purchasing legit games. To the point now when that's pretty much, you don't buy fakes anymore.
No, you do. It's still there, but it's not.
But you have to put in a lot of extra work to get to play them, and then you don't even get the full experience sometimes.
In my mind, it's a hassle to go through it now. Like it's much of a hassle. Like
but think about it. Then before, like we were like dumb kids back in the 90s. We had no money.
Yeah.
So dumb
at least now we can go out and buy our own games.
Yeah, and again, also back then, like the internet, wala, diba? So we had we didn't know what games were good. We're like, oh, that looks okay. You look at the cover. If the cover looked awesome or whatever, or if like you knew the title, like, oh, it's from Square, it has to be good. You
I miss those days of good Square games.
Right. I was like, oh, Capcom, I'll get that. You know?
I miss those days too.
Everybody misses those days.
Oh man.
But yeah,
So it was a different shift, especially here in the Philippines. It was a
yeah,
big shift. Like it wasn't before where we had like a community or like a group where up buy and sell because now a lot of people are now buying originals. Now people are like, up, we'll sell it, we'll buy and sell, we'll sell it back to someone else. The second
yeah.
hand
Actually, that's what happened now. Is
train
the
started.
second-hand market here has blown up. Like you can get but like as you said, like when I remember you were saying before when you bought your PS4, the PS4 buy and sell was all the same shit. It's like all Shadowfall, all
all
Battlefield.
Killzone.
Yeah, the release of the PS4, like that's the only games were there. So it was Knack, it was Shadowfall, it was Battlefield 4. And then when I got my PS4 and I saw the when I wanted to look around, it was like a whole list of like Shadowfall. Everybody just sold that shit. Everybody just sold it. It was like
Yeah.
an excess of Killzone.
But I think
So
yeah, I mean going back to the original point, for me that was the 90s, mid to late 90s specifically. I think for me was the best because that was still I think this was just when 16-bit was. Well, actually, I have to say the whole 90s because I really did enjoy my Super Nintendo a lot. Like I really loved it
oh
to
yeah.
death.
'Cause I'm checking out the years, like the best years. Like there are some like, they consider like good years, like 2004, 2007, but it's really the 90s. We're talking about
For me it was the 90s,
1996,
yeah.
yeah,
And I think
97,
around
98.
95 I discovered PC gaming. Like that's where I suddenly got into PC gaming because I discovered uh just how much was on the PC that I was missing out on like by so and I think that was also when PCs were sort of becoming affordable. Like the first Pentiums
Oh yeah.
were coming out like when and so I remember we had a PC, so I had like games like Wing Commander and stuff, and I really enjoyed that. And then and then the PlayStation came around, and then that was the whole like buying up games and just realizing how much there was out there. So for me, I guess for me my favorite part of gaming was the 90s for sure. I didn't really get to a lot of people will say like, oh, PlayStation 2, that had so many great games on it and so many things. But actually, at that time, I was in college, so I didn't have a PS2, and I didn't actually have a console during my college. I was abroad in Australia,
Mm.
so I did a lot of my gaming at LAN cafes there. I actually was very close to the community there so that's where I learned about Counter Strike and those competitive multiplayer games.
I think every Pinoy knows Counter Strike. Thanks
Yeah,
to
Oh yeah, it's a requirement.
but I didn't actually get
everybody knows
into
what an Arctic is.
I actually didn't get into PS2 and like original Xbox like until like maybe just before the Xbox 360 came out. So I kind of missed the party when it came to that. So other people you guys might have a different experience.
99, Half-Life, Counter Strike. Sorry, I think that's when it came out. Mod, Counter
The Half-Life mod
Yeah,
by Sierra.
by Sierra.
Yeah, I remember
that?
that was released by Sierra.
It was released by
Holy
Sierra.
shit!
It was.
Shit.
I wanted to was that though. I wanted to mention like a specific year, 1998 in
Yeah.
particular, because just by the games. I'm
I
checking
told
it
you,
out right
98.
now. 98. No, you are right. You are definitely right, dude. In 98 alone, we were introduced with Pokemon Red and Blue,
Right.
Legend of Zelda: Ocarina of Time, Mario
Mhm.
Party, F-Zero X, StarCraft,
Yes.
Metal Gear Solid,
Yes.
Half-Life, Resident Evil 2,
hmm
Fallout 2,
So many good games.
Parasite Eve, Panzer Dragoon, Tom Clancy, and the list goes on. Baldur's Gate.
A lot of
So-
shit came out in
Wow,
98.
that did come out.
Dude, 98 was crazy.
It's a
And
heavy year.
that just alone, those names, if you haven't played any of what I just mentioned,
You're too young.
you're too young. Those games are like, they're precursors of what you guys are playing now, in a sense. A lot of them, actually, if you think about it. A lot of
There
them,
were Final Fantasy games before 13.
survival horror, post-apocalyptic, Baldur's Gate, RTS. Like they all of these are very staple like precursor games that changed like the genre for good. I think. So 98, holy shit, 98. If you wanna do some history of like really great games that are in the 90s, go to hit 98 and you'll be good. But when it comes to the 90s, I think if you look to the 2000, it's not that impressive if you think about it. Even though the graphics got improved.
Well, the early 2000s, like we had like the one thing that sticks to mind that came out in the early 2000s was Dota. That's probably the one thing that
that's like one of the that's one of, for me personally that's one of the biggest ones because I played a fuckload of Dota.
And oh wait, sorry, Dota and the rise of the MMORPG, I think.
I think World of Warcraft. World of Warcraft came out in...
World of Warcraft, because I remember...
I think?
2004, yes, 2004.
Because like the last year was like their 10th year anniversary thing, so...
Yeah, it came out 2004. Before that, you had EverQuest, you had Dark Ages of Camelot, Asheron's Call... but I think we had an
ability to escape our actual world and go to virtual worlds.
Yeah, and the thing is, I can't. While I did like enjoy when I was super hardcore into EverQuest, like I can't say like it might have been the healthiest thing for me back then, because I look back on it now, or even and I realize like wow, I really spent a lot of time playing this game, and it really doesn't amount to anything in real life.
It does not.
I mean, like, no, I mean, to the point, like, I was playing, this was, like I mentioned, I didn't have a console in college. I was playing EverQuest throughout college, and, I would skip class sometimes just to keep playing it. So, I was at a borderline point when it was becoming unhealthy for me.
Dota was the game where I skipped class.
Oh, really?
Like, that was it, yeah, because I was in Makati, and if I want to skip class, I'll just play I go to Greenbelt and play Dota. I mean, it was not fun. It was Dota in college, Counter-Strike in high school. Those two games are the reason why I was not in school. So
Dota and Counter-Strike.
Yeah, Counter-Strike was in high school, and I was actually the one installing Counter-Strike in our fucking PCs. It was that easy to install. And then Dota 1. I can't really staple like that's why we're going from the 90s or 2000s. I can't really staple the best ones because like, I did mention 98, but there's also 97, 96, great year. I still can't. Was it Final Fantasy 7? I can't. 94 or is it 97?
97.
97 was, yeah.
I have to also give that as a good year too because Final Fantasy 7. It's my first introduction to Japanese RPGs, and
same for me.
That was like the golden years for JRPGs. There's another. If you guys want.
Oh, really? That was your guys' intro? Because I got into that with like Final Fantasy 2 and 3, which was 4 and 6.
4 and 6.
Yeah.
Well, I didn't have an SNES, so
right.
I missed out on that.
PS1, my first game, I think I mentioned this before, was Final Fantasy 7. I think Alundra. If you guys remember that game.
Alundra, yes.
I know about that. I've never played it.
Yeah, those are the two first games I ever had in my PS1. Final Fantasy 7 pretty much jump-started my whole love for
FF7
JRPGs.
divergenized us in the JRPGs.
Wild Arms, Breath of Fire, all those goodness. That all started in 1997, so I can't really ignore 97. But yeah, there's a lot of great years but it's definitely 90s. I think we can all agree it was 90s though, in a sense.
For me, it was definitely the 90s, yeah.
The 90s.
Because we're 90s kids.
We're 90s kids. And if you think about it, in the 80s, you have like what? Super
Mario. But we were dumb babies back then, so it doesn't count.
But yeah, why don't you guys let us know what you think is like your best years or your best year in gaming personally. Like if you were like that time when Dota came out or when you finally made your dwarf in World of Warcraft. Like we'd like to know what your best years was. Because it was like that's a good amount.
What was
number
my
of years
best
actually.
year?
It's hard to really pinpoint it actually. Thinking about it now.
I'd say mine was
it's hard.
Mine would probably be 99 because I got a PS1 at Christmas of 98.
I can't say. It's hard. I've had a lot of that. There's a series of years really.
Yeah, and usually naman you'd only be able to play the games in like during summer or Christmas break for the most part, diba?
Yeah.
So like, I don't know, we were kids.
Yeah. But hopefully that's about it. Hopefully though, with 2015 talking about best years, hopefully this year will come out as a good year or a better year than last year.
Yeah, last year had some good. I mean, last year wasn't a bad year by any means. I don't think it was. It wasn't. It was just a very
weaker compared to
average year, I suppose. That's you could say.
It's okay. Like it was okay. Like it just it. I just felt a lot of overhype. I just felt a lot of overhype in 04 and 14. Sorry, in 2014, I felt a lot of overhype.
Well, Nintendo made some money in 2014.
Amiibo.
So that's something.
Amiibo
and Super Smash Brothers.
Yeah, and Mario Kart.
Mario Kart 8 then.
Mario Kart 8. So yeah, hopefully 2015 will come out great. It's hard to see. It's hard to say really what the second half brings. Like we're gonna see the big news of what's gonna happen, what's gonna go down, probably around Feb and March. That's when like the third parties or the first parties will start mentioning what they want to announce and everything. So we'll see. But it's exciting to see. It's exciting to see what's to come because this year it's gonna be all about games. All about games. Again,
we're not expecting. There's no new systems, and this is again like I think the year where we will start to see pretty much the phasing out of the 360 and the PS3.
No.
Mine's dead. Oh, but my 360. 360's gonna.
No.
So
I love my
this
PS2.
is probably the last year where we'll actually see any releases for those games that are not like
sports or wrestling.
Exactly.
I'm just kind of curious on how Microsoft and Sony would how they would support the people who have those previous games, or they're just flat out just ignore
Well,
it.
what I'm worried about actually is specifically Microsoft and how they'll handle Xbox Live, because if you recall, Xbox Live for the Xbox original is dead and gone now. But and I don't know how that worked out. Like, if you downloaded a game on Xbox Live on the Xbox original,
shit, yeah,
would you still be able to play it? Because I have games on Xbox Live. Like, I have Marvel vs. Capcom 2. I have a bunch
which you can't buy anymore.
I have even Marvel Origins. I have that. You can't buy that anymore. So I have them there, but once Xbox Live goes down for the Xbox 360, like, what does that mean? Does that mean like I can't play my games anymore? Am I completely locked out?
Probably.
Or what? Right?
So.
Yeah, hopefully
that's what sucks about digital.
Yeah, that's the one thing. That's the biggest. Well, we'll talk about that in the future, but that's the biggest argument where if it goes down, all your games go with it.
Yeah, so that's why. Like, if Microsoft, at least please, if Microsoft does that, they should consider at least having some sort of unlock option so you can still play your downloaded titles.
Or like move them to the Xbox One or something.
No, they won't do that.
Some kind of server nonsense.
They won't do that. Yeah. Like Nintendo won't do that, Microsoft won't do that. So
just back them up, I guess, as best as you can.
Yeah, but that's it for episode 64. We're at 64. I've been saying 64 this whole episode. Yes, okay. 63 was the last episode of 2014. Thanks for listening in. We are going to cut it here. We'll see you guys next week. We have an episode every Tuesday. We're back on our regular. There's no more break or anything. We're going to be having an episode every Tuesday all the way until Christmas. Again, I think. Yep. Hopefully. Same thing, same old shit. And if you guys want to check out our previous episodes of last year, do check out our website, toomuchgaming.net. If you guys want to subscribe on iTunes, you can get our latest episodes right away through iTunes. Just subscribe, rate, comment. We greatly appreciate that. It'll actually help us up on the ranks. And just, subscribe. You'll see our latest episode instantly downloaded on your phone or your tablet or whatnot, whatever device you're using. Or if you guys don't like listening via audio, Miggy releases the video version of the TMG podcast. Not exactly on Tuesday, but it'll be updated eventually. So you guys can check it out on our YouTube channel, TMG Blog. You can just search it, and Mickey does a lot of like. You have a lot planned for 2015. We have a lot planned for 2015. Like, I have to continue my Alien Isolation playthrough, like, and some game reviews, and of course, some couple of events that are planned also for this year. We'll be covering some of the events. It'll be uploaded on the same YouTube channel. Do like us and on Facebook. Follow us on Twitter. Same as that. Too Much Gaming, and that's about it.
Yep.
We will see you guys next week for another daily dose of us just rambling about video games.
Video games.
If you guys have any concerns, questions, or anything like that, you can email us directly at the TMG Podcast at gmail.com. So the TMG Podcast at gmail.com. Any concerns, any questions, or any topic you guys want us to cover, just send an email, and it'll be good. And that's it. I don't know why I have a cough, but we'll end it here. See you guys.
Bye.
Bye.